Good morning and welcome to the Friday edition of our Fall Care-a-thon, a Joy of the Gospel. Please join me in praying this prayer to Saint Cecilia this morning. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Dear Saint Cecilia, one thing we know for certain about you is that you became a heroic martyr in fidelity to your divine bridegroom. We do not know that you were a musician, but we are told that you heard angels sing. Inspire musicians to gladden the hearts of people who by filling the air with God's gift of music and reminding them of the divine musician who created all beauty. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. All right, that is pretty cool for a couple reasons. One, I've got a daughter, Cecilia. So if you're listening, Cecilia, love you, sweetie, and all my other kids. And we also have a very special guest in here this morning that has done wonderful things throughout her life. And so we'll get to an interview with Maggie Baalman in just a minute. First, we've got a few things to cover for you. I'm going to get you guys some numbers on where we're at because we may have had a little bit of an adding error. And so we're not exactly sure that our numbers are correct or not, but we want to make sure that we get that so that you guys all know where we're at and how well you have blessed us. And so first and foremost, thank you so much. Thank you for putting up with me for the entire week. Thank you for all of the wonderful guests that we've had, for our underwriters, for all those who have donated, and for all those who are going to donate today. And we cannot do this without you. We're completely listener funded. And so thank you so much once again. If you are looking at donating with us today to help us reach our final goal on this last push, it is that goal of $125,000. You can call into 785-621-4110. That's 785-621-4110. You can also donate at dvmercy.com. Now, as I was talking about underwriters just a second ago, we do need underwriters. And so being an underwriter is not just like, paying a fee and then, oh, great, now people get to hear me or something like that. Being an underwriter is actually buying into the mission of Divine Mercy Radio. And so you become a partner with us in sending the gospel message of Christ out there on these radio waves that you are listening to right now. And if you listen enough, you'll hear a lot of our underwriters. Go talk to some of our other underwriters and talk to them about what a blessing it is. Ask them and see what they say about the ways that they have blessed us and the way that they've been blessed by being underwriters. So if you become a new underwriter, then we are going to give you a first month free. So if you sign up and have your business promoted while supporting our Catholic radio station, then we are going to give you that first month free. Pretty awesome. Join us today. We also want to remind you of your Never Forget plan. So that Never Forget plan is if you sign up for a monthly withdrawal from your credit or debit card, you'll receive a $10 gift certificate from Messenger Traditional Catholic Books and Gifts here in Hayes. They're also online at traditionalcatholicstore.com. That's traditionalcatholicstore.com. If you're a new business who wants to underwrite, remember, you will receive 1 month free. Remember the NFP plan so that if you do sign up for that, you get that gift certificate to Messenger, because Messenger is a wonderful store. Jerome and Angela Schmeidler, they are the owners and operators down there. Beautiful little store, beautiful family they have. Go support them and thank them for all that they do for our radio station. Ways to listen. However you are listening, there are other options in case you're going throughout your day and going somewhere else. So if you're in your car, you're probably listening on one of our stations. Maybe it's Lindsborg and Salina at 101.7, 105.7 here in Hayes, or 88.1 here in Hayes. Also 88.1 in Great Bend, or 89.1 Colby. You can also listen at dvmercy.com and click on Listen Live. That is our website, and you can go there to listen. You can go there to look and see, once we get our numbers updated, where we're at with that thermometer. You can check out programming and all kinds of other stuff. Go to dvmercy.com. You can also download the smartphone app. So all you have to do is type in Divine Mercy Radio on your app or Play Store. You can listen on your Amazon Echo. I always love saying that. And Hey, Alexa. Hey, Alexa. So if people are listening on their phone, I wonder how many in their house is going, yes, hello, good morning. So you can listen on your Amazon Alexa. All you have to do is say, Alexa, enable the Divine Mercy radio skill for Lindsborg Salina Station, or Alexa, enable the Divine Mercy radio skill KMDG for the Hayes Station. So after you have done that, you should be able to just say, Alexa, play Divine Mercy Radio in Lindsborg Salina, or Alexa, play Divine Mercy Radio KMDG for the Hayes Station, and it should just play for you. We're also live on Rumble, Facebook, and YouTube. That freaks some of the guests out, but I tell them, you'll forget about it, and then they do. I mean, we haven't had anybody in here picking their nose or anything yet, so I think we're okay. So if you're watching us online, thank you. God bless you. We appreciate it. Gifts this Care-a-thon. So if you give during this Care-a-thon and you give $250 or more, first thing you're going to receive is a ceramic Divine Mercy Radio Nativity Christmas ornament. I already have mine, being one of the board of the directors, and it's a beautiful little ornament. And so you'll get that. You'll also be entered into a drawing for a Bo Smart speaker donated by Dave and Janet Schmidt, and they're the owners of Dave's Auto Repair here in Hayes. There's 2 different sets of 5 towels each. And these are custom embroidered hand towels with the Divine Mercy logo donated by John and Lisa Flynn, owners of Gone Logo in Hayes. With a family like mine, we go through so many hand towels. This would be handy. A handmade ladder rosary donated by Dora Liker of Munger. I use mine daily. Not kidding, every single day. It is a beautiful rosary. I've had it for years. It has held up even with all of my family. And so it's a beautiful rosary. A $100 gift certificate to Hickok Steakhouse, who feed us every day, and it's delicious. And that's donated by Oscar Runyon, Greg Whitehair, and Damon Hoare, who are the owners. And then there's a men's and a women's Divine Mercy radio shirt. You get to pick your size and logo. If you're a $500 donor, you will receive that ornament, and you'll be put into that drawing, and you'll receive a 60-second spot celebrating a loved one's birthday, an anniversary of a death, a baptism, a wedding, a graduation, or virtually any other celebration. You let us know. We'll help you with it. If you give $1,000 or more, it's everything I already mentioned, plus a Divine Mercy Radio bamboo cutting board just in time for that Christmas dinner. And you'll receive 2 tickets to the annual banquet, which will be held Saturday, September 13th in Hayes, and Sunday, September 14th in Salina. The guest speaker there will be the host of Beacon of Truth, Deacon Harold Burke Sivers. All right, I have spent enough time doing announcements. Let's get to the good stuff here. So one of those good things is we have a trivia question. I know everybody's getting up, getting kids ready for school, but get your phones ready. 785-621-4110. We've got Maggie Baalman in here with us. I'm going to have her read the 7 o'clock question and make sure that she doesn't read the answer. And so she's a pretty good student here. Let's see if she can figure that out. 785-621-4110. Maggie, let's make sure we got your mic on. There we go. All right, go.
Who was swallowed by a big fish for 3 days? Jesus, Malachi, Saul, or Jonah?
All right, could you read it again?
Who was swallowed by a big fish for 3 days? Jesus, Malachi, Saul, or Jonah?
Thank you, Maggie. Call 785-621-4110. That's 785-621-4110. I know there's some kids out there. Get them on the phone. Let them guess. If you get it right, we enter you into a drawing for a $50 gift certificate to Messenger, Traditional Catholic Books and Gifts here in Hayes. Without further ado, we have a wonderful young lady in here this morning. Our Care-a-thon, the theme of it is Joy of the Gospel. And if you know this young lady, I'm embarrassing you a little bit here. But you exude joy. So thank you so much for that. Maggie always has a smile. And I'm sure that not everything's always perfect in life. But you're always one of those people that if you see Maggie, she's got a smile and you're like, man, that's awesome. I want a little bit of that. So thank you very much for letting that joy flow through you and maybe make some of us grumpy Gus's a little bit happier. So welcome in. We've got Maggie Baalman in here. Maggie is currently attending Fort Hays State University. And what year are you in, Maggie?
I'm in my junior year.
Okay. And what are you studying at Fort Hays?
I'm studying medical diagnostic imaging.
Okay,
Yeah, so
fantastic.
X-ray.
All
Yes.
right. Now, are the plans to go somewhere else, stay around here?
Well, I'll have my clinicals next year, so it could pretty much take me anywhere in Kansas.
Okay.
So I will figure out that here pretty soon, and then I'll be gone next year. And after that, who knows?
Okay. Now, if something opened up, would you be willing to come back here?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
for
good.
sure.
Everybody heard that. All right, so now we can put the pressure on. Like, no, you said you would come back.
Yeah.
No, wherever God takes you,
Yes,
that's
for
where you
sure.
need to be. So thank you. I want to jump in again really quick to congratulate Sarah Rudman. She is our trivia winner. They have to drive in from town every day. And so I bet they're on their drive or getting close to it. Congratulations to Sarah. We will get your name put into that drawing for that $50 gift certificate at the end of the day. All right, we're in on our fall Care-a-thon, Joy of the Gospel. If you want to partner with us and you want to thank us for having these good guests on and for the wonderful programs that we play through through EWTN, please partner with us by calling into 785-621-4110. That's 785-621-4110. We're going to get back to talking with Maggie Baalman. So Maggie, you've been involved in music for how long in your life?
Well, I kind of started music when I was like 4th, 5th grade. 6th grade was kind of the general area where music kind of began. And then I kind of got involved in my church around junior high or high school. We had a music ministry at TMP, which is where I went to high school. And so I was able to kind of grow in my music around that time and then just build up from there into college. Yeah, so it's been a long journey, but it's been a good one.
So where are you guys a parishioner at?
I went to St. Nick's.
Yep.
But now I go to the Catholic Campus Center.
Mhm.
So I've kind of been involved there, and I actually help run the music with another fellow student.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
And so when you started getting involved in music ministry, what was that like to get up in front of everybody for the first time and help out at mass?
I honestly was scared.
No way.
Yeah, no way. For a long time, I really just struggled with stage fright, and
Okay.
when I was younger, it was pretty bad. Like I wouldn't even sing with my in front of my parents, and so they were just like a lot of people in my life were kind of guiding me and pushing me towards music because it was something that I was good at. I just wasn't confident in myself. And so
Okay.
had a lot of teachers and my parents and parishioners like, hey, you want to sing at mass or you want to go do this? And so that was kind of helping me to be more confident in myself and in my music ability and being able to share that with others. So yeah.
That's awesome. Yes, if you notice that gift in someone, yeah, obviously, as Maggie said here, be sure to build them up in it. There's some of us, like myself, if I had started to sing, people would probably need to be like, yeah, let's not join the choir. Some of us need that too. But if you have a Maggie in your life who has a beautiful voice, encourage them to use that voice. So that is awesome. So do you have any childhood memories of songs or going to mass or singing in school that you'd like to share with us?
Oh, well, so actually, I kind of have this memory from elementary school. I want to say I was either like a 4th or 5th grader, but we actually sang the Divine Mercy Chaplet.
Oh, really?
And so that was really cool. And I kind of grew up listening to a CD in our car, and it was the sung Divine Mercy Chaplet, and that was just one of the coolest things. And that was just something that really connected me with music. And now, like to this day, I love singing it, and it's just one of the things that I just always feel really, really close to God when I am singing it. And so, or when I'm listening to somebody else sing that, it's just so cool. I don't know why.
No,
It's
that
just
is
a cool
beautiful.
connection, but
That's it. I think that's one of the things that we have usually at our 3:00 break.
yes.
So
Yes.
that is really neat. You said something funny though that some people not know. What's a CD?
What's a CD?
I was surprised to hear you say that. Like,
I know.
wait a minute, you were still of the generation where we had those as you were growing
Yes.
up. Yeah, the new generations now are like a CD. What in the world? So
Yeah.
Maggie, you're not that old yet. So
Yeah.
so do you have any other high school or college memories like so kind of just big things maybe that like you've helped in so many things. And so do you have some of those memories of even like outdoor adoration and stuff
Oh
like
yeah.
that? Just some really moving things, some things where God was able to bless others through the gift of your voice.
Yeah. So me and one of my friends actually got to sing for the Eucharistic conference that was held this summer,
Mhm.
and that was such a crazy experience. It was cool to be like on Fort Hays campus and actually like get to see people on the campus like celebrating Christ. Like that was just one of the coolest things. But we had a lot of people actually come up to us after. And just like share stories and like very personal stories, and so it was really cool to see how a small thing like singing could bring somebody back to adoration and bring them to confession, and so that was pretty neat to hear those stories from people that I don't even know, people from the Salina diocese who came out, and there was a story of somebody who um, he hadn't gone to church in several years, and his parents invited him to come, and he didn't really want to come, and then
Uh-huh.
his mom actually was on the phone with him while they were walking through campus, and me and Jess were practicing singing, which she was my partner, and so we were singing for the adoration, and he had heard it, and he was like, where are you? What are you doing? And they're like, we're at the conference. And he ended up coming
No
and
way.
came to adoration, and got to share that. And I think he went to confession, and it was like it had been so many years since he had been in at an adoration. So that was just really cool to hear some of those stories that we were able to use our voices to bring people to Christ, which is what I love doing. So it's
That is
pretty neat.
awesome. That is so cool to hear. I love those stories.
Yeah.
And thank you for that gift because I know it is difficult. It's hard enough to get up and speak in front of people. In fact, did you know that often for people, the fear of public speaking is above the fear of death?
Oh my gosh. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
isn't that crazy? So they'd rather be
Oh
in
my
the coffin,
gosh.
as people have said it, than the one giving the eulogy. And so you're like, wow. And so for singing, I think it would even be more, because for some of us, we're like, okay, well, maybe I could get up and give a talk, but I'm not about to start belting it out in front of people. But I guess
Man.
when you have a real gift like yours, maybe it makes it a little bit
I
easier.
was gonna
So
say.
thank you for sharing that gift.
Yeah.
You're listening to Maggie Baalman speak with us this morning on the joy of the gospel, and she's talking about finding joy in music ministry. So if you appreciate the things that we are doing, the people we're having on, call us today. Join with us in this mission of proclaiming the joy of the gospel. 785-621-4110. That's 785-621-4110. We're going to get back to Maggie here in just a second, talking about finding joy in music ministry. But I also want to remind people of that call-in line. So if you've got a question for Maggie, maybe your parents are listening. So if you've got a question for Maggie this morning, call into the studio at 785-621-5061. And we can put you into the studio, or they can just send us your question. We'll ask that question, and we'll hopefully get that asked and answered right here, right now, as we are on. Call that number, 785-621-5061. If you want to donate, 785-621-4110. All right, we're back with Maggie Baalman on finding joy in music ministry. So, you've progressed from grade school, high school, now in college. How has your music ministry kind of progressed with you?
Yeah, so like I said earlier, me and one of my friends are in charge of music ministry at the Catholic Center at Fort Hays campus. And so we're kind of in charge of putting together music for masses every Sunday. We also do what's called ABC night, which is adoration, benediction, and confession. And we do that every month for college students. And so it's a great opportunity for college students to get to actually come to adoration. And so we provide music for that. And then we also have what's called candlelight mass, which is mass in the dark by candlelight. It's a really cool experience. If you've never been to one, it's pretty neat. And so we also provide music for that. So we just have lots of different things that we're kind of in charge in, making sure that music is in our church. And it can be hard, like as college students, because we kind of have to work around college schedules. People go home a lot for weekends, and so we just have a lot of different things that we kind of have to work around. But it's been a really good experience to get to help
beautiful.
with that.
So you said you have the ABC Mass once a month.
Yes.
Or I guess not ABC Mass, but ABC once a month.
Yes.
So is there a specific time? Does it change every month, or is it on the same month, same time?
Same time. It's on Wednesdays at 8:00.
Okay.
And it's in our chapel on campus. And so we do that once a month, and we normally send out messages to college students. So, yeah.
Okay. And is it which Wednesday of the month, so that if people want to find it,
it kind of varies. It changes throughout the month. Yeah. We kind of have to look in our schedule and see when we have speakers coming and different stuff. Because it's normally our Catholic Disciples group is doing that. But yeah.
Okay, so can they just look on the Como Catholic Campus Center website to find that?
So we have a group chat that we created. We have QR codes all over our campus and in our campus center, and they're even on the TVs in the Union. So students are able to like see that, get into that group chat, and then they get all of the information for the Catholic Center, and we are always rotating through that. So.
Fantastic. Oh my goodness. That's so wonderful. I just wanted to say something side note here, that this is a beautiful blessing. If you're listening this morning, for one of those things that brings joy to my heart, because not all of the world is corrupt. We've got Maggie Baalman in here, and she's talking about the different ministries she's involved in. And I hear that the Catholic Disciples down on, are they Catholic Disciples still? Is it Catholic Tigers? Is it both?
It's Catholic Tigers now, but it was Catholic Disciples. I think we just made it Catholic.
I'm just going to say Catholic Tiger Disciples.
Yeah.
We're going to bunch it all together, but they are slaying it down there. And so thank you, especially if we've got some Catholic Tiger Disciples, Disciple Tigers. If you're listening, thank you so much. Keep it up, and make sure that you get yourself to one of these ABC nights. I'm always disappointed because I'm way out of that age range now. And so unfortunately I don't get to attend it, but it sounds fantastic. Now, what about the candlelight mass?
Candlelight mass is also once a month. So we kind of rotate. We just make sure that we have both of those every month.
Okay.
And it's the same thing. It's on Wednesday nights. It's at 8:00, same time. We try to make it easy for students. We have our Wednesday nights, which consist of either ABC night, candlelight mass, or a special speaker that comes.
Okay.
And we kind of rotate through those, and then we also do events. So like we had a 3-on-3 basketball tournament last Wednesday. So we kind of just rotate through those things. And so students are able to know, oh, this is at 8:00. This is happening on Wednesday, every single Wednesday. So they can like put that in their calendar and just know, okay, I'm going to come no matter what it is. I'm going to come to that Wednesday and dedicate that time to the Catholic Center or to adoration or mass or whatever it may be.
That's awesome. And so you and Jess sing at both of those then?
Yes, but we have a big music team. So we kind of we have a lot of members and we have a lot of talented people. So we're able to have different people scheduled for those different events. So it's not always just me and Jess singing. We have other students who are involved, and we have lots of people who play instruments, and like we have a violinist and all these different things. So we're able to they're able to share their music too, and it's very cool.
That is beautiful. But still, even the candlelight mass is not for old guys, right?
Candlelight masses, we do have people that
you allow
come. Yeah, because
older people.
We do for candlelight mass, just because I don't think we do mass we normally have a 5:45 mass, so I think they don't do that on Wednesday, and they just do the candlelight. So we do have we're not a parish, but other kind of parishioners do come. So
if somebody wanted to experience that with you guys, they would be welcome to come down.
Yeah, we would not.
And you guys wouldn't
turn
just give
people
them
away.
the boot and be like, no, let me see your license. Not because they're carding you to see if you're old enough, but to see if you're too old.
We will not.
Sorry, buddy.
We can't turn anybody away.
You did not make the cut for the candlelight mass.
Yeah, that's not gonna. We won't do that. That would look really bad.
That is awesome. Thank you for including us old fogies also. You're listening to the Fall Care-a-thon here on Divine Mercy Radio. Joy of the Gospel is our theme. And I got some updates that I really want to share with everybody out there. So this is how fantastic everybody is. First, we have $10,785 left in matching funds. So we need to use those up today. Those funds are there so that if you give $100, it gets matched, doubled to $200. And so we want to use all those up. We have such generous donors. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And thank you to those who have given those funds. I keep saying it this week, but you don't get to use other people's money for free very often. I mean, I know that does mean you have to make your own donation, but then they're saying, hey, I'm going to give 100% of whatever you give to make your donation doubled. That is fantastic. Please, please, please use up their funds. That's what they put them there for. But that also means that through the generosity of those who gave us those funds and everybody who has donated this week, we are starting this morning at $86,995. That is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful way to get us to our goal of $125,000 by the end of today. Let's see what we can do to get there. Let's use up those matching funds. 785-621-4110. That's 785-621-4110. All right. Also, stay on the radio station for a trivia question in a little bit. All right, let's get back to Maggie. So we're in here with Maggie Baalman, and we're talking about finding joy in music ministry. Maggie's been involved in music for a long time in her life, but it's not just your voice. You also play instruments, correct?
Yes.
All right. So when did you start picking up instruments?
Well, I played the guitar. I did play the flute for a while, but didn't care for that one near as much. So just guitar. But I picked that up. Well, actually, I bought a guitar at a pawn shop probably in like 4th or 5th grade, but I never learned how to play it. And so it just kind of sat in my closet for a while. And then finally I decided, hey, why don't I take lessons and actually learn how to do this? So I took lessons for a year. And then after that, I just kind of started teaching myself different things. And it was a great way to help me like accompany myself and be able to sing and play. And so, yeah.
Okay. So now what is your favorite genre then?
Oh man. I love all the different types of genres, but probably country music or rock music.
Okay.
And then I also love like religious music. So I kind of go on a cycle through those different types of genres, but yeah.
Okay. I may be getting ahead of us because I did not do my homework really well. I really just kind of like coming in and have conversations with people. So, did you then, in finding this gift, do you find that, you said that you like country, you like rock music, you kind of like everything.
Yeah.
But what's your own little niche when you sing? What do you think your personal flavor is most like?
I would say it's more a mix between like pop and country style music, but
not the junky stuff that we hear.
Yeah, no, like actual like old real country music.
Okay, all right, there we go.
I don't really like the newer country. No offense to anybody that does, but
hey, that's okay. We can
really
have our own opinions on music.
Not really a fan. I like the old, just a guitar and the voice kind of thing, which I love. I love hearing other instruments and making it more full. But yeah, I just think it's neat when you can write your own songs and you can like sing and play guitar and that kind of thing. I think that's pretty cool.
So
But yeah, I don't know.
have you written a lot of your own songs?
No.
No, you haven't?
No, I've tried. It just
Uh-huh.
has not gone very well. When I was younger, I definitely tried.
Uh-huh.
Which I think if I had more time on my hands, I maybe would try and pick it up again and see if I can try
Okay.
and write music, because
Uh-huh.
it's been a while. I kind of tried it when I was younger and it just went horribly, and then I was like, yeah, I'm never doing that again. But
So could you, if you wanted to, could you write the music for it? Or is it kind of both, like, no, I need someone to write the music and
I think I could do maybe a little bit. I can't play piano or anything super well, and
uh-huh.
so and I'm not very great at reading music either. It's just kind of all listening, and
Oh wow, that is a gift though.
so yeah, so I kind of just I've learned by ear, and so I think it would be a little bit harder to like write out the music, but I
Okay.
definitely could like pick up my guitar and just figure out notes and that kind of thing. So
Oh wow, that is a pretty cool gift though.
yeah,
My goodness.
it comes in handy at times.
Yeah, I would think so. So have you have you recorded anything then, or
Not. I'm trying to think if I've ever recorded before. I don't think so. Yeah, I
Okay.
don't know. I mean, I'll
Right.
record my voice on my phone, but that's very different. So not really.
You should probably record something for your parents for Christmas. That would be a beautiful
I think it would be
Christmas gift.
cool.
Your
Yeah.
parents would be, I mean, your dad might even cry. There's a special thing between dads and their daughters.
Oh yeah.
So Justin, if you're listening, that's okay, man. Like, it's okay in an instant like that to be like, oh, that is so sweet.
Yeah, that would be pretty.
So now that I put it out there, now you're gonna be like, great.
Nice.
Everybody in the listening area just heard that. Now I got to make mom and dad some sort of recorded thing of my music. So
Yeah.
sorry to do that to you.
I think it'd be pretty cool.
That would be pretty
Plan
cool.
someday.
Now, if I remember correctly, here a few years ago, you and your family got to go to Memphis. Is that correct?
We did, yeah.
Okay.
We actually went down to Florida, but we drove through and we stopped there for a day, and it was pretty cool.
What was it? And I don't even know if that's on our list. Like I said, I just
You're
like
good,
talking to
you're
people. So what was your favorite part about visiting Memphis? I've never been there. I have no idea what it's like.
Honestly, just we kind of like, I don't know what it's not like Broadway like in Nashville, but they have like a strip of like bars and different things, and we stopped and went into a few and just like sat and listened to people sing, and
Okay.
like that's their like lifestyle, is like pursuing music.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, it was cool. It's a lot of blues and like old different styles of music, but that was pretty neat. And it's like the birthplace of Elvis and like different, so he was down there, or like getting to see his bar and where he like performed in.
Okay.
So yeah, it was kind of cool just getting to walk around and listen to people doing what they love, but just very different styles than what I'm used to. So
are
really
you
neat.
Do you have a little bit of a blues flair also within your music, or is that not so much?
Probably not
Okay.
so much, but I do enjoy listening to it. I
Yeah.
just don't think I would be able to pull off that style of music.
Okay. Can you play the banjo or anything?
I wish. No,
I know, I
can't.
wish too.
I want to learn how. That's like that. I always say that's my next instrument that I'm gonna learn.
That is cool. All right, I'm going to break in really quickly because we're going to do a second trivia question, because I bet there are a lot of people going to school right now. And so we'll let parents and the kids jump in there. Maybe we'll have a competition. Who can get it, the kids or the parents? We have we're on our fall Care-a-thon right now, Joy of the Gospel. We're going to read the second trivia question. If you think you know it, call 785-621-4110. That's 785-621-4110. We'll get you entered into that drawing for a $50 gift certificate, but only if you get it right. So it's the first person to get it right. Maggie, do you want to read this one also?
Sure.
All right, 7:30 question. Get your phones ready. 785-621-4110. Here we go.
Who lost to the Apostle John in a foot race to get to the tomb first? Peter, James, Matthew, or Jude?
One more time.
Who lost to the Apostle John in a foot race to get to the tomb first? Peter, James, Matthew, or Jude?
All right, call that number, 785-621-4110. We also need somebody to start the ball rolling down the hill today. We haven't got that first donation of the morning yet. We do have those $10,785 left in matching funds. So let's get it started. 785-621-4110. Let's see if maybe Maggie's got a family member, friend, or somebody else listening that wants to call in and join with us, partner with us on this, and say, you know what, Maggie, you're doing an amazing thing in life. Thank you for that. Call 785-621-4110 or call 785-621-5061 for a question for Maggie while she's in here. Those are the two numbers, 785-621-5061 for the call in to get a question, or 785-621-4110 for your pledge. Let's get back to speaking with Maggie Baalman about finding joy in music ministry. All right. So we talked a little bit earlier about, you started somewhere in junior high, maybe, and nerve-wracking type of thing. But thanks be to God through people, nudging you, saying, no, you got something going on here. To being able to, okay, I'm going to let my gift out here. Right. But now you're not just in one of those, okay, thanks for prodding me. And I'm going to help at mass and stuff. Now you're actually leading stuff. What kind of because that's also another big jump.
Oh yeah.
It's not something that's just easy, natural progression sometimes.
Yeah.
So what was the catalyst of you going from, well, I've been participating, but now I think I'm called to actually guide this.
Yeah. So I would say like a lot of it is just has to do with prayer because I think like it almost became something where I wasn't singing for myself. I was singing for Christ. And that like kind of plays a big part in music because it can get hard when you're singing for mass or when you're singing for adoration or different things. Like a lot of people are listening to you and trying to make sure that like you're not doing this just out of like your own pleasure and like, oh, I need that. What do you call it? What's the word?
That euphoria, the good
yeah,
feeling.
like I need all this reassurance that I am good and like that different thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so once I got over that, it was kind of like, okay, no, like, yes, I think I have a good voice and I'm able to use that, but I want to do this for Christ and to help lead others to Christ. So it's like I don't want people looking at me. I want people looking at Christ. And so I think once I realized that, I was like, okay, this is really what I enjoy doing, and I want to be able to share that in a way where I can guide people towards Christ and make sure that it's not just like, oh, I want to be seen. Like I like to be hidden and be able to just, and like I don't want people to be watching me. Like, and I've noticed like with singing, like I mean, I did a lot of musicals in high school. I did a lot of theater, and that kind of also helped bring me into singing and being confident in myself, kind of stuff. But I've always noticed that I feel I get way much more joy out of like singing for Christ than I do anywhere else, any other type of singing that I do.
That is awesome.
So it's just so cool to be able to like, I just want to do that a lot more often just because it just I feel something when I do that versus when I'm just singing for my own pleasure. Like, yes, I love it, but there's just something very different, and I can just tell that like Christ is definitely in that music when I'm doing it. So,
okay. Can I ask you a side question? Well,
Yeah.
I'm the host. But if you think it doesn't make sense or anything, just to be like,
Oh, you're good.
That doesn't make sense. But no, I'm trying to figure out because I do know. So although I'm not musically talented, anybody at Mass that's around me, I'm sorry, but God gave me this voice. But there is to singing, there is a performance piece to it.
Yeah.
How do you move past then? Like as you're speaking and you're like, I don't really want people to notice me. I want this gift to be a gift from God that blesses other people. How do you move past that? Because I would imagine there has to be some of that in there. I mean, you can't just be like, well, I'm not going to use my talent, but in using your talent and it being a talent that has some performance to it, how do you meld that together so that it is that focus on Christ?
So kind of over the years, I've noticed like it honestly, like I love getting compliments because it's like a reassurance, but I'm also like, I've started to pray to God and like tell him like, hey, like I'm doing this for you. And so if that means like not getting any compliments from anybody, then that's great, because I know,
Wow.
oh man, I'm doing this for you, and it's only for you. And a lot of times with like adoration and different things, I like to make sure that the music, like we're facing Christ, so that when I'm singing, I can sing directly to him. Like I can look at him and be like, this is for you. And so like it's just kind of a thing where it's like when it's not focused on yourself and it's just focused on the eyes, like looking at Christ, it just makes it so much easier to get out of that, you know, this is for my own pleasure, this is for my own enjoyment. It changes the whole
Wow.
perspective of everything. So then, yeah, when I get those compliments, like, wow, like what I want to hear is, I was able to go to confession tonight because that song brought me out of my seat, or like stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like that's what I love hearing. I love hearing people saying that music was able to change them or help them move past something in their life, or help them to, yeah, get up out of their seat and go to confession, or just see Christ and actually look at him and focus on him. So that is definitely like what I want, and I think what a lot of musicians want, but it's just getting out of that performance zone and more of the like, yes, I am performing, but I'm performing for the Lord, and that's where I want my mindset to be at. And when you're there, it's just like, man, it just feels so good.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
That is so beautiful. I got little tingles on my arm here. Because so the reason why it's so beautiful is because I've noticed that sometimes, now I don't want to make people self-conscious who do share their gift,
Yeah.
but sometimes you can actually see in somebody who's singing, like you can just see visibly that their gift is being used in that moment.
Yeah.
Like this had, like you're saying, this
Yeah.
has nothing to do with them. You can, I don't know. It's just like a change in their persona that you're like,
oh yeah,
holy cow.
It's cool.
They are spirits moving in them right now, you know, and so that's really neat. Cool thank you so much for your gift. You're listening to Divine Mercy Radio's Fall Care-a-thon, Joy of the Gospel. We're having an amazing conversation with Maggie Baalman, who is in music ministry. She's doing it right now through the Hayes Catholic Tigers. Disciple Tigers, and she helps out with them with a candlelight mass, with an adoration. What was the ABC?
Adoration, benediction, and confession.
Okay, adoration, benediction, and confession night, and all kinds of other ministry with mass down there. We're going to get right back to speaking with her after I congratulate Abe Fisher. So Abe was the trivia winner there. Thanks, Abe, for listening. Dr. Abe Fisher. He was on here just, I don't remember if it was yesterday or the day before, because my days run together. But great man, good friend. Thank you for listening, Abe. Thank you for all you do in our community. And congratulations to winning the trivia question, which was, who lost to the Apostle John in a foot race to get to the tomb? And the correct answer there is Peter. He loses every time. Peter needs to get faster. All right. The first one, I think I forgot to read that one, was, who was swallowed by a big fish for 3 days? Answer there was Jonah. So congratulations to the two winners this morning. We'll get you entered into that drawing for a gift certificate to Messenger Traditional Catholic Books and Gifts later today. You are listening to Divine Mercy Radio's Fall Care-a-thon, Joy of the Gospel, and we're asking for you to partner with us so that we can keep spreading this joy to others. The way that you do that is to call into 785-621-4110. That's 785-621-4110. Give us your pledge, and we have matching funds that we will double your pledge today. We started this morning with $86,995. We're wanting to make it to that total of $125,000. Help us make it there today. If you are listening this morning and you hear my voice and you have never donated before, please consider doing that. I support this station. Many others do, and we do it because we really enjoy being able to put the truth of Christ out there for whoever can hear it. If you're driving coming down I-70, I just want to go back through these really quickly. We've got that station in Lindsborg and Salina. We have a station here in Hayes, not on I-70, but down south a little bit in Great Bend. We have that station. We have our classic station here in Hayes also, and we have to the west, we've got a station over there in Colby. So we cover a lot of I-70. It even reaches a little bit into over into Colorado, and we cover down into the southern area with that Great Bend station a little bit. And so I know we have just wonderful listeners in all of those areas. If you're tuning in today and you're thankful that we have Catholic radio, please join with us, 785-621-4110. All right. I want to get back to speaking with Maggie Baalman about finding joy in a music ministry. So Maggie, this is I don't want you to feel bad and not like, oh, here, I want you to mention all the amazing things that you do, but it is a gift that you have, and thank you for sharing it. But also, I think it's really good for myself and others to hear, in using your gift, where have you seen it bring joy to others in their lives, and maybe just those other moments of helping others out?
Yeah.
You gave us one instance already of a young man who was like, you know what? I think I'm going to go back to adoration and confession. What are some other things you've seen through your ministry?
Yeah. So I am actually a CNA, which is a certified nurse's aide, in case nobody knows. But for a while, a few summers ago, I worked at Via Christi, which is like a Catholic, or it might be Christian, but I think it's Catholic, based like nursing home for people. But I worked there for a year, and I had a patient who had Alzheimer's pretty bad, and she was Catholic, and I noticed like she was struggling like with sleeping and different things, and she just was very antsy, and so I just started singing to her, and she like instantly was just like calm, and I was singing church songs. I was singing In Christ Alone, actually. And it was just like an instant like recognition of like Christ, or like remembering maybe like her church or different things. And so I honestly don't know what she remembered, but it was just like instant, like something just went over her, and you could just tell that she was like either living a memory or something. So it was super cool to see how like just singing for her was just like an automatic like recognition for her of the church or of Christ or whatever she may have been thinking. But so after a while, like I was really able to connect with her, and that was like the only way I could connect with her, because she just wasn't herself anymore, obviously. And so it was just really cool to see like she was able to actually talk to me after I like sang to her, actually like somehow connect with me. So that was really cool, just to see how music can do more than just singing at mass or just singing for an adoration. Like it can be that connection with other people in a super small way. So it's just kind of,
I would say that's actually
cool.
a pretty
a big
amazing way.
a big way.
Well, so Father Nick was in here yesterday, and we were talking about beauty.
Yeah.
And music is one of those things that can be very beautiful when done right. And so Father Nick we were discussing the true value of beauty and what it really is. And that's probably why, is because beauty will actually stir the soul. And music, oh my goodness, music has such an ability to make you, it really does make you feel like, oh.
Yeah. It can make you feel things that you just don't feel on a normal basis. And,
absolutely.
And lyrics and just everything. It just can resonate with people in different ways. And it's also just crazy how like one day you could listen to the same song and it could hit different than like listening to it a different day. Like everybody's going through something in their life, and there's normally a song for that. You just you got to find it. And sometimes it's just kind of crazy how
Yeah.
how that happens.
So when you actually, I hold that thought
Yeah,
because I
you're
want to
good.
get right back to it. I just see here that we have. If I had the bell out, I'd ring it. But thank you so very much to an anonymous donor. I was so excited that my tongue's getting tied there. An anonymous donor who gave $100. All right, thank you. Got that ball rolling down the hill this morning. Gave us $100. That means it's a $200 donation with those matching funds. Please join that anonymous donor, 785-621-4110. But let's get right back to speaking with Maggie, because this is such a great conversation. So kind of tied to something we said earlier, when you're singing, and especially like you said, when you're saying, like, God, I want this to be about you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find that, I mean, trance is not going to be the right word, because that would be something that we wouldn't want to use in our Catholic thinking, but just like losing yourself in the music, when you're singing, do you find those moments where I don't know, how would you put it, that you don't even really realize that you're doing it so much because it's just the gift coming out itself? Does that make sense?
Yes, no, I totally get what you mean. There has been times where that has happened. Like a lot of it, since I do it so often, I think it kind of made it maybe less of that way. Like when I first started, I was like, wow, like there's just those moments where it's like, wow, this is really God working in me and working in others. So like it definitely does have that effect, but there has been a few times where it's just like I've gotten chills, or just like there was one time like after a song I could like hear everybody singing along, and it was just like this moment of like silence, and I can just like hear them singing, and I'm like, whoa, like that's so cool.
That is
and it was
so
like
neat.
wow. So just like that, and then man, there was one time I was just like completely brought to tears, and I was singing, and I was like trying to like sing still while I'm like crying. And so just like
beautiful.
through those moments, like you can definitely tell that God is in that, but it does happen quite often. But I have noticed, like, I don't know, this is a point maybe to say for other people who are maybe musically talented and music is their form of prayer. It like took a long time for me to figure out how to pray without using music, because music was like centered around my prayer life, and so that was like my connection to Christ. And so learning how to pray in silence was like super hard. And so it's just like, man, I need to have more silence in my life, because music revolved around that. So there is a boundary where it's like, okay, music is great, and if it can get you there, then like get you to prayer, then that's great. But also, you're not always going to feel something, which is like something that Father Andy had told me a lot, like, or just that I've heard from other priests. Like you're not always going to feel God's presence there. Like it's, and there's times where I was struggling with drought of like not feeling anything from prayer and not getting anything out of it. And even music wasn't working. And so I was like, what is going on? And so that like struggling through that. But now, like after that was over, I actually knew how to pray in silence, and I actually figured out how to do that. So I think and now I'm able to go back to music, but still know actually how to pray without music. So I think there's, a good balance between it, especially for people who love music, and prayer revolves around that.
I'm so glad that you said that, because, I've been to NCYC, you've been to NCYC. And, one of you ask people what their favorite thing is, almost verbatim, it's adoration.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because it is, I can say, yes, it is a very moving experience. And then it's that tabletop experience, and then people come home and that's what they want adoration to be every time. And it is beautiful, because it's just music and Christ right there, and the lights, and you're like, oh my goodness, and the mood is set for you to have that moving experience. But I'm glad that you said that, because we don't want to live in those. And that's really neat to hear you say, a musician, like, no, I had to figure out also how to be in the silence. Because, a lot of times, like if you go to the Adoration Chapel here in Hayes, you wouldn't want to bring your phone along and let's start playing the playlist, like you would want to be able to sit there in the silence of Christ.
For sure.
So I mean, not to take away from that gift, but thank you for mentioning that, because that is very important for people to understand. be thankful for the tabletop experiences,
Yeah,
but don't live for the experience.
for sure. And that's something. I think there was one other thing. Like God speaks in the silence. And if you think about like your day, how much silence do you get in your day?
Not
Like
much.
just thinking about it, like not much. Like
When you're
your
sleeping.
phone is going off. Yeah, when you're sleeping, basically. And we always have this background noise. And sometimes I just think about like how like you look back in the Bible and there's different things. Everybody like says God spoke to them so much. Like, why does he not speak to us now? And I think about like our day and age, and we have so much noise, traffic noise. We have our phones, we have like constant noise. And so I think like getting away from that at times can be great too, because God speaks through that silence, and being able to actually sit in silence is something that
Yeah.
we struggle with. And
Yeah.
so being able to get to that point is great, because you can hear God a lot
Yeah.
better. And if music is a way to get you eventually to that point where like a lot of times now I'll start with a song or start with something to, because that's what calms my mind. That's what's able to get me to a point where I'm not thinking about classes, or I'm not thinking about school or work or whatever it may be. So if music can be your starting point to get you to looking at Christ and just being calm, and in that holy place, then that's great. But there has to be a stopping point there too, because I think silence is also a great thing to have
Wow.
with that. So yeah.
You were a whole lot wiser than I was at your age. So keep growing in that wisdom.
Thank
And
you.
our few moments that we have left here, is there anything that you want to let other people know, maybe whether it is, if you have this gift, how to cultivate it, or anything else, or anything that you want to say in these last couple of minutes that we have?
I would just say if you love music and it's something that you've always been drawn to, don't be afraid to use it, because like that fear that I had was definitely holding me back. But also just like let God work in your gifts. And if it's not music, whatever it is, like everyone has a gift, and I think every gift can be used towards something, towards Christ. And so just being able to use that gift to bring you to Christ is just a great thing, because if you're not living a life towards Christ, then it makes it a lot harder to get to heaven. So it's just like thinking about like, yeah, God gave me this wonderful gift, so why not use that to help myself get to heaven, but also help others, because I think we're called to bring others to heaven too. So being able to use whatever gift you have to bring Christ into other people's lives, just use that, because that's such a wonderful thing, and it can also help you grow as a person, help you
Awesome.
get to Christ.
Thank you so much, Maggie. It was an absolute joy. I have to say that we have, we let people have questions beforehand so that they kind of know what they're talking about and stuff like that. And I don't think we made it through half the list, which is an awesome thing, because we just had a great conversation. So thank you for your time today. Thank you for the joy of music that you bring to others, and we really appreciate that gift. We'll be praying for you. Please pray for us.
Thank you. Yes. Thank
Have
you
an
for
amazing
having me.
day.
You too.
Thanks. You're listening to Divine Mercy Radio's Fall Care-a-thon.